Hey, what's up? How are you? Welcome to another tutorial here on my Rode Studio channel. In my last video, I got this comment. I honestly don't know why I hadn't thought of doing a remake of one of the songs by the duo The Blaze. It is good that you leave me comments to know what tutorials you are looking for to present them here on my channel. The first step was to look for the song to do a remake, among all the songs I decided on Territory. Now I will present to you the final result of the remake.
We shed some tears of love now, like the tears of in the rain. When some of the dead are waking up, yeah. There's nobody like my mom. There's no place like my home since I was born. When I was young, the flavor is so strong. I've missed it so long now.
We started with the drums. I noticed that they use the TR-808 rhythm machine a lot. You can look for some emulation of this rhythm machine. In my case, I used the Drumbox Classic. Inside this device is the TR-808. The design of the drums is very basic. We will only use the kick, clap, and hi-hats. Let's analyze the rhythmic pattern of the drums. In the first part, we start with the kick playing with the speed of the MIDI note. We integrated the hi-hat. We integrate the clap. Finally, we add some toms where I have the transpose automated. For the synth bass, I use the analog instrument. In the synthesis, I go to the filter. In the filter envelope, I have to attack and decay closed. I keep the sustain open and I close the frequency. In the audio effects, I only use the chorus. In the MIDI note, it is only re, la, so, and fa. We have a second bass where we can find it in the part of the intro with the sound of the 808 in the style of the trap genre. In Ableton Live, it offers us an acoustic piano instrument. To find it, we click here. Within the simpler presets in the pianos and keys section, you can find it. Now all that remains is to integrate it into a MIDI channel. Listening to this piano and comparing it to the piano in the original song, I feel that my piano still lacks a little more shine, so I added the following effects. I added an equalizer, an overdrive, and a compressor. With the equalizer, I boost the high frequencies to generate a little more brightness to my piano. With the overdrive, I generate a little harmonic distortion to reinforce the brightness. I apply a little compression. The delay has this function. Let's listen to the effect. What it does is a very minimal delay on one side. This helps me to generate an extension in the stereo image. Now, how do I set it to sound with this effect? What I'm just going to do is set up the synchronization of my delay with the project by changing it from sync to time. Then we modify one of the sides of my stereo channel. I'm going to leave the right channel at 1 millisecond and the left channel I'm going to leave at 1.54 milliseconds. It's almost nothing on the delay, but I'm going to exaggerate the delay so you can hear what it would sound like if we had a longer delay. Now let's move on to analyzing the synth. We turn off the effects to concentrate on the synthesis. We are going to use two instruments, A and B. In instrument A, I am going to use a saw-type oscillator as a sound source. In this case, it is an oscillator called Prophet 12 saw. Either way, they can use a simple saw oscillator. Here I have increased the shape parameter and hard sync. I'm going to decrease it to hear only the saw oscillator. Now, let's increase the shape and hard sync. Here I left the filter on to hear how the oscillator sounds solo. Before deactivating it, I'm going to talk about the filter envelope. In this case, I leave the attack and decay closed and I leave the sustain and release open a bit. I'm going to open the cutoff and I'm going to close it to listen to the transformation of this sound. In instrument B I have a noise-type oscillator which aims to add analog texture, but the amount of noise to the sound design is very moderate. Now the two oscillators together. The audio effects that I am going to add for this instrument are the following: pedal, delay, and equalizer. When listening to the original song, we will notice that it has a bit of distortion in which I can generate it with the pedal effect. With the delay, I'm going to do the same as with the piano by creating a delay on one side of the stereo image. And with the equalizer, I boost the high frequencies a bit to give it brightness, and I reduce in this area of the mid frequencies. To get this sound, I had to combine two instruments before I disabled the audio effects. Now combining the two instruments, it sounds like this. In the first instrument, I use the preset called Liquid Steel Drums. Within this preset, 3 instruments were activated, in which I deactivated instrument B. In this sound design group, I add the audio effects chain. With the equalizer, I am adding brightness by increasing the high mid-range frequencies. With the utility first pan, this instrument on the right side, I add reverb and finally an autofilter, where in this area the autofilter is activated. In the next part, one have this conga percussion from the TR-808. In the effects, I am going to use a saturator, a reverb. Here with the EQ, I eliminate the low frequencies that were generated by passing the audio through the saturator, and at the end a delay. And finally, to end this video, I have this percussive instrument generated by the analog. I add these audio effects. We have reached the end of this video tutorial. Remember that this project can be found on Patreon and Gumroad. It is not necessary to have Omnisphere or Iota to open this project since these channels will be frozen. See you in the next video.